Hey all, welcome back to the channel. This is Junior Scientist, and we have just started a series related to chemistry, biology, biochemistry, and also we will add further more subjects too. Till now we have covered cameras and Excel boards related to IGCSE CEA level. So, I hope we will help you, and if you feel any confusion, you can contact us on our email also. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to start a chapter which is called as biological molecule. So, you should be clear with the term biological molecule. It is basically including a group of elements which combine with each other to give rise to those molecules who are mandatory for the survival of the living organisms. Now, they include carbohydrates, they include protein, lipids, fats, oils, DNA. There's a series of them, but we will only study those which are given in the book, since the series is specifically related to the subject books. Now, as per introduction, biological molecules are basically the molecules in which carbon is basically a skeletal element. They need carbon to create or develop the skeleton. So basically, carbon is an element present in all biological molecules. Like carbon atom can join together to produce or to give rise to a chain or the ring structure. So biological molecule could be very large or could be very small. So simply, the first thing we have learned is carbon is a mandatory element. The second thing we just learned is they could give rise to ring or the chain structures. Later on, we just see they could be very large, they could be very small. When they are very large, they are termed as macromolecules. When they are very small, they are termed as monomers. Next point is that they also include some partner elements, which are basically the oxygen, hydrogen. Sometimes they also contain nitrogen in them. The next point is that when macromolecules are made up of long chain of monomers, they're held together by the chemical bonds. They are termed as polymers. Now, what does the word polymers mean? It's like when multiple chains or when lots of monomers are joined together, they give rise to a big chain, a huge chain, which is called as polymers. Examples are polysaccharides, and what are they? They are basically chain of single sugar units such as glucose. When lots of or million of trillion of glucose molecules are joined together, they give rise to a structure which is called as polymers. Next is the case for the protein is another example when there's a huge number of amino acids who are the building blocks of the proteins. When they join together, they give rise to a polymer which is called as protein. Nucleic acid is what when chain of nucleotides are joined together, they give rise to nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are of two types. They could be RNA, which is usually the like this way the single stranded nucleic acid. Another case is the DNA, that this is the double spiral or letter shaped nucleic acid. Next is the case when it comes to the molecules constructed of lots of small units often have the different properties from their subunits, making them suitable for specific functions in the living creatures. Now you should be clear with the term specificity. Lipids have specific role, carbohydrates are relatable to the sugar, they meet the demands of sugar in our body. When it comes to lipids, they meet the demands of oil or fats in our body that provide us with a long time energy. When it comes to the protein's role is to provide us with the specific protein who have their own roles in providing us with energy. So gradually every specific biomolecule have its own function. Next is the case when it comes to example, it's like glucose. Glucose is basically a monomer. Now that glucose is very soluble and it has less or no strength, but in comparison to it, when it is cellulose, who is a macromolecule which is also made up of the glucose units, it is insoluble and it is very tough. It is ideal information of cell walls of the plant cells. Now, how is it possible? It's like the monomer is or one molecule or the basic molecule or the molecule who is producing the big chain is is smaller in size. It is very soluble and it has no stress. It means he's a weaker guy. But when lots of glucose molecules combine, it got tougher for anybody to break them. They attained the nature of insolubility, and they attained the capacity nature in them. Why they are doing so? Because they have to give rise to outermost layer, which is called of plant cell, which is called as cell wall. Why? Because they have to protect the plant cells from being getting damaged off. Okay. Now, next point is that the cells need chemical substances to make new cytoplasm and to produce energy. Okay, so basically, cell have to do different activities. For meeting up every activity, they need some sort of supportive material such as glucose, protein, vitamin, and different stuff. In that case, lots of monomers or biological molecules have to combine with each other, and they could attain different shapes in different combinations. Now, the first most important, the, the biological molecule is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are basically called as sugary stuffs. So they could be simple sugar, soluble sugars, or complex material like starch, and they could be insoluble. But all carbohydrates are contain basic elements such as carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So these are the three main elements which must be present in the formation of carbohydrates. Now, a small or a commonly occurring simple formula is of glucose, which is in which oxygen and carbon are equivalent in their number, while hydrogen is double in comparison to them. So here is the glucose formula. When it is in the form of ring, so you could see the differences among them, or you could see how they are how they are arranged like this way. So basically, and if you try to attach the six carbons with each other, they could attain this shape also. So how they are arranged? Basically, you can see when two molecules of glucose can be combined with each other to produce or to attain a shape of maltose with the same ratio. Now, what is it? Here, two glucose molecules have been combined with each other, and when they combine, a process called condensation occurs, which is like a water molecule release, and it left us with a combined structure which is called as maltose. Now, sugar molecules can be further categorized. Sugar with a single carbon atom called as monosaccharide. Now, what do we mean by a single carbon atom? With this stuff, we mean if we only take this one molecule, this is called as monomer. So basically, when there is single carbon ring, this is called as monosaccharide. Example of this is glucose and fructose. The two sugars or the sugar with two carbon rings in their molecules, this is called as disaccharide. So for disaccharide, this maltose is an example. So when we just took separate glucose and fructose, it means they were the monomers. When we just combine glucose and fructose, they could attain the shape of molecule which is called as a disaccharide, or maybe the maltose and sucrose. Mono and disaccharides are readily soluble in water. It means they can also decompose their bond. They could break their attachment bonds. When many glucose molecules are joined together, they attain the shape which is called as polysaccharide. Glycogen is another example. Now, glycogen is a polysaccharide that produces food storage substance in many cells. They store the food in different organisms by combining lots of glucose molecules with each other. The starch molecule is made up of the hundreds of the glucose molecules joined together to form the long structure. Now you should be clear, like glycogen is an animal cell. In animals are just like lots of glucose combined, and it gives rise to the glycogen in animal cells. But when it comes to the starch, it is highly specific to the plant cell. Starch is an important storage substance in the plastids of the plant cell. Plastids are important organelle in the plant cell. Remember that they are not present in the animal cell. These are the sites where molecules like starch are made and stored. Now, one familiar example of plastids is the chloroplast. We have already studied like the chloroplast contain a pigment which is called as chlorophyll, and that chlorophyll is responsible for producing or giving green color to the leaves. When chlorophyll is not present, no green color is observed in the plant leaves. Next is cellulose. Cellulose is of even longer chains of the glucose molecules. The chain of molecules are gripped together to give rise to a microscopic fibers, which are laid down in layers to form the cell wall in the plant cell. Now, cellulose is a thing which is termed as uh, in which lots of glucose molecules are joined together. They are the non-living things, and they give rise to the outermost layer of the. They give rise to cell wall, which is the outermost membrane of the plant. I mean, like leaf. So basically, they make the cell wall a tougher, a non-living structure, and making it harder for anybody to break it and cross and enter into the like leaf cell or in the plant cell. Next is the polysaccharide. Now, polysaccharides are the bigger structure, they are the bulkier structures. They are not readily soluble in the water. So here we have a structure, or here we have a polymer basically, which is or polysaccharides, in which lots of glucose are attached together. So here you can see there is, if we just consider this thing, or if we just pair one molecule like this one, this is a one glucose unit, which is a monomer. When lots of monomer combine with each other, they give rise to a structure which is called as macromers. So that's it today. And now for the summary, we have discussed. Now is the time for summary. In today's lecture, we have learned something which is called as biological molecules. And in the biological molecules, we have learned like carbon is the basic structure. When lots of carbon attach with each other, they give rise to some biological molecule, and among those biological molecules they are composed of three basic elements like carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Sometimes they also contain nitrogen. Now the next thing we just learned is about carbohydrate, which is one of the most important biological molecule. What is it? It is when carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen arrange themselves into the different positions, and they give rise to the monosaccharide when there is one molecule present, when one glucose molecule present. When they take the shape of the two numbers or two rings, they are called as the disaccharide. When multiple di and mono combine with each other, they give rise to polysaccharides. So that's it for today. If lecture have helped you, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and see you next time. Good luck.